This meeting is being recorded.
All right, so hey everyone, welcome to the preview of the new Apartment Hero. Really excited to share what we've been working on. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments or under this video, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. So this is the new login screen, and it won't have my name here. It only has it here for me. And so when you log in, you're going to notice that the colors are different. There's a darker blue. Um, and you're also going to notice that the setup has changed as well. Um, in terms of now we have bubbles with the actual things you need to set up. There'll be actual descriptions down here as well of what each bubble stands for and what you can do within each bubble. Um, and so before I jump in and go through each thing, one of the major things is we've made this. I listened to a lot of feedback, and we made it so that a lot of things are like one click away. And so you're going to notice that as we go through that. Um, so I would like to start with services. So with services, you can add a category, you can edit the category. Um, all that's pretty straightforward. But one of the things I want you to notice on this left side here is you have the category. So categories will be listed that way. And you also have the service, but you're able to sort them easily. It's just a drop and drag, excuse me, kind of a thing. In terms of adding services, we've added a lot more details and made things more streamlined. Um, so like you're able to see all team members associated with it, whereas before it was kind of separated. You're able to offer more options here, so it's more granular. So you can, online booking, the description of the service, is it a home address for credit card, require payment, and we also let you do a deposit as well. Um, so these are a lot more. These give you a lot more control over your booking. And of course, here are all the details. This you should be very familiar with. So none of this changed. It's just that none of the details, I should say, changed. Other than giving you more control, and you're able to get your booking link directly from here instead of having to click a button. Forms, I really want to show you this because a lot of people said, I like the forms, but I wish they were a little bit easier to use. And so I took that into account. And so when you add a form, sorry, you can see that you can give it a name, a description. You can pick whether it's an intake form or a custom form. So you should be used to this. The biggest differences is with an intake form, if you want, you can have them fill it out every time. That's different. Whereas now it has to be every time. And then the custom form, you can also make it once or you can make it every time. So you have more control over that. Um, and even with creating the forms, this is really the big part. You have more options in terms of the types of things you can add. One of the biggest things was people wanted to be able to add text instead of just adding like, a multiple choice or a short answer or a long answer. And so the text gives you the flexibility to explain things, to write directions, things like that. And you can even do section titles. So this is basically gives you full control over what you want your forms to look like. So I'll go back to setup. And Lisa, let me know if you have any questions. You can just stop me because I feel like I'm talking. So if you have questions, just ask, and I'll answer them as best I can. All right. Um, I want to jump. So all these settings, I'll jump into this one because this has changed a lot. So the purpose of this section is to streamline the way that the way that messages are sent out from Appointment Hero. So today, in setup, there's like this customized emails that are sent to my clients. But then to change appointment reminders, you have to go to the communications tab to change appointment reminders. So what we've done is all of these things are communications that are sent from your clients. So we've put them into one place and we've tried to make it even more intuitive. So when an appointment is booked, this is the email that the client will get, right? And we've even made this a little more intuitive because what we used to have was a drag and drop editor. So you had to like upload your email and upload your logo and then upload a picture and do all these kinds of things. Whereas now we know what your logo is. There's no point in you uploading it. And so your logo will go here, your business name will go here. We may be able to change those around. That's not a big deal. But the point is you're able to customize what you want to say here. And so the goal was to make that easier because I saw a lot of people hesitant to use the editor, the email editor, because I think it looked difficult to use. And then here you're able to change this too. So not 3 days before the appointment, but you could say there'll be multiple options here, right? Like 1 day before the appointment and so on. This is your appointment reminder, and you can choose to send email or text. And you'll be able to add these too, right? So like you'll be able to say 3 days, then 2 days, then 1 day. So it's up to you. I think there's going to be a max of 2, but you're able to control that. And I'm not going to go through all these options, but essentially it's pretty much the same. You have complete control over what you say to your clients. If with the wait list and so on. So I'm not going to go through each one because it's essentially the same thing, giving you complete control over how you communicate with your clients. With your calendar settings, the biggest difference here is you can control when your week starts. A lot of people were asking for this option. So here it is. And we've kind of streamlined everything that belongs to your calendar will go here. So like buffer time, what you say for cancellations, those kinds of things. So things have moved around quite a bit, but it's all in making it more intuitive so that you know like where things are. So those are that's not all of the settings, but this is the general idea behind setting up your account. I don't want to go through like each and every single one because I think people will be bored. The one I really want to get to is the calendar. So there's a calendar here, and this is kind of a placeholder. What your calendar is really going to be. Let me scroll up to the top. Here we go. So your calendar screen is going to look more like this. You see the appointment request here, filters here, and this is a calendar with multiple people. But ideally, if you're just a solo person, then it'll just be you there. That's the general idea behind that. And if we keep scrolling down, imagine that somebody hit appointment request. And so here you'd be able to approve the pending appointments. So this is very similar. The only thing I'll say is I don't think a lot of people use this screen other than for appointment request. But it's very useful when you wake up and you want to understand like who is coming in today, what are they coming in for, did they fill out their forms, right? That was the whole purpose behind creating this screen. I kind of move on from here. If you click the client's name, it kind of pops up from the side. And so this is one of the things I'm really excited about too, is that everything is like a click away. So if you click the client, you don't go to another page, it just comes to the side. If you click on an appointment, you don't go to another page, it just comes to the side. So everything is right there. So you're not like clicking and waiting and trying to figure out like, what do I do next and where do I go next? Everything is pretty much a click away. And then really quickly, I'm going to show you what happens if you click on an appointment. So if you click an empty appointment slide, it's going to pop up on the side again, right? And you'll be able to fill out the information. Same thing if you edit an appointment. One of the things I want to point out is we've added the wait list here. And the reason we did that was, one, I feel like it was hidden. And two, and more importantly, you're able to see like who's on the wait list for that day, things like that. So it just makes it more streamlined. So you're not clicking 3, 4, 5, 6 times to find the information that you need. And then one more thing I think I want to point out here, I believe. All right, so let's say that you click on a appointment. It's gonna again pull up on the side. It's gonna show the client's information. You can check the client out from here as well. So this takes the place of the pop-up that pops up in the middle of the screen, right? And the reason why this is important is you can do a lot more things from this sidebar than from the pop-up. Because the pop-up, there's limited space. And so what are some of those things you can do? You can add a credit card now, straight from the screen. You can check out the client. That's something you could do previously. You can add an appointment note. And you can also scroll up a little bit, stop switching. If you click the client's name, it's going to pop out again, right? So it'll be over the screen and you can edit the client's information. And so that's all without going 3 and 4 places just to perform a task, right? That's the goal behind that. So to show you what that looks like actual clicking, I'm going to go to the client screen, and this is a list of clients. You should be used to that. The difference on the screen, there are 2 major differences. One is these options. So you have a whole lot of options to filter clients now than you will have a lot more options than you do now. So you can filter them if they had their first appointment, when they had an appointment, who they had an appointment with, if their last appointment was as X number of days ago, what kind of service they had, did they have it in a service category, the gender, so on and so forth, right? So you have a lot more options here in terms of filtering your client list, and that was heavily requested. And then also, if I click on a client, right, this is the client's name. You can see they've been a client since. But these are all the details that were on the previous screen. It's just now you can get to them from one screen away. We do have additional information. So like, I think now you can enter the pronouns. The address is the same. This is different. So before it was just one checkbox if they were subscribed to campaigns. Now you have control over, do they get email reminders? Do they get SMS reminders? Do they get email campaigns? And of course, you can still block them from online booking, and you can create their account as well. And now you have the ability to store client notes that are not necessarily, I think this was in the previous version too, but that are not necessarily appointment notes. There are not much differences on these screens. So I don't really go, yeah, this is the biggest one. So your appointment, your message history is gonna work a whole lot better. So one is gonna look like a timeline view, so you'll be able to scroll. And then 2, if a client says, well, I didn't receive the appointment reminder, you'll be able to filter by appointment reminders, appointment confirmations, the different types of communication that goes out to your clients. You're now able to filter through that. So that's the biggest difference here on this screen. One more thing I want to point out is your sales has changed a little bit. Well, quite a bit actually. So before, in order to get to the cash register, you had to check a client out. Now you can still do that, right? But you also have the ability to add a client and add a service or an upgrade or a package from this screen and check them out. Now, if you do that, know that like it's not going to be attached to an appointment, but you will have the ability to do that. I believe a few people wanted that as well. And so these are the things that we have up and going. I'd probably say within the next, probably end of May-ish is when we'll be complete. Now that we've got the framework up and the framework going, the cool thing about this is because we switched to this view, this allows us to release the mobile app now, because the problem before was the mobile app was using a different framework than the website. And so if I made a change in the website, I had to go make a change in the mobile app. If I made a change in the mobile app, I had to go make a change in the website. After this is released, we no longer have to do that. So it's much easier. So then I'll be able to release the mobile app, and it's much easier to add new features here. And then if they are going to go into the mobile app, they can. But if they don't, like the mobile app will still be able to run, and you still be able to use it. So with that said, I'm going to end this here. But if you have any questions or any comments, let me know. Post them under the comments to this video. Lisa, if you have anything, let me know. And if not, I'm going to kind of end it here. All right. Thank you guys so much. And I will be speaking with you soon.